Now, in finally admitting publicly that Chief M.K. Abiola won decisively the watershed June 12, 1993 poll last week at his book launch, this was already a corroborated fact and historical reality. IBB merely decided to toe the path of honor and redeem himself in the public eye. However, in doing this, he then sought to shift culpability of the annulment to someone else, his late Man Friday and comrade in crime, General Sani Abacha, as the main culprit, while he, IBB, was a helpless onlooker. You know, the dead don't speak. That's what they say. But the point is, nothing could be further from the truth. Here's my reading and interpretation of events as I understand it. I've written about this in a couple of my books, you know, and I believe after the failed Gideon Oka coup of April 1990, in a script reminiscent of the 1976 Dimka coup that killed then head of state General Murtala Mohammed, the Oka coup, though with little chance of success, but it almost cost General Ibrahim Babangida his life. But for the timely and decisive intervention of soldiers under the command of General Sani Abacha, whatever pact, that is agreement, the two men, that is General Ibrahim Babangida and General Sani Abacha, whatever pact or agreement they had prior, you know, to the Gideon Oka coup, to transfer power, political power, from one to the other, became a blood covenant and was ironclad. As IBB himself admitted pretty much in his book, after the role Abacha played in foiling the Oka coup, he, IBB, believed he owed General Sani Abacha his life. And now, what better way to repay your savior, in inverted commas, than with a bite at the cherry? I have never quite understood why IBB set up the interim national government while he stepped aside, retired all the service chiefs and himself. However, he conveniently left Sani Abacha in the contraption as the defense minister and chair of the joint, you know, chief of staff. It is like implanting a stud in the midst of 20 beaches, using metaphorical terms. I kept and bred dogs for decades, so I know all it takes is one damn good stud among a few beaches to have pedigree puppies. Those who breed dogs would understand these terminologies. So, in a nutshell, here was General Babangida, the master coup plotter, evil genius, coined moniker, evil genius, ultimate schemer, and one of Nigeria's finest military strategists and tacticians, did a house cleaning for an effete contraption of civilian stooges in power. Yet, of all the persons he refused to retire, but actually installed in the placeholder contraption and given the keys to Nigeria's military arsenal, was arguably the second best coup plotter in Nigeria's entire history. Although lacking in class or finesse, that is Sani Abacha, he, speaking about Abacha, more than made up for his lack of, finesse or class. He more than made up for this in maximum ruthlessness and sadism. And so I say to you, dear General or President Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida, sir, you can tell your Moonlight stories to the Marines. These Moonlight tales you came up with in your book, you can tell it to the Marines. In simple terms, let me break it down for the viewers and for Nigerians. You had a pact with General Sani Abacha to hand over to him, period. You reluctantly agreed to conduct the elections, the June 12 presidential elections or general elections, but you had no intentions of either completing the process nor handing over to Chief MKO Abiola. Your biggest dilemma was how to achieve this grand plan while still emerging a saint and without any blame whatsoever. The last hope and expectation was that the elections will be marred by the usual rigging, chaos, and crisis. But none of this happened. It was and remains possibly the best elections Nigeria will ever conduct. Now, Sani Abacha didn't annul June 12 elections, Mr. President, IBB. You did, sir. And you are vicariously liable for all the heinous atrocities perpetrated under Sani Abacha thereafter. And I fear, until we honor, Chief Moshood Kashimawo Olawale Abiola adequately and bury the ghost of June 12 appropriately, credible elections may continue to elude Nigeria. That's my take, and that's the first issue